Not long after walking down Clements Lane, you'll see a public footpath to your right. Just turn up here. We'll be visiting the churches and, well, the churches later on and the trig point later on. First visit is going to be Mill Mound. It could have been a medieval windmill or a fort or something like that. I think they found some foundations here, but we're just going to take a little look up here. I know there's not going to be anything up here, but it's worthwhile having a look. According to my map, this is Mill Mound, where a medieval windmill once stood, or fort. It doesn't obviously look like much nowadays, but you can see why it would have been up here. Capturing all the wind. Just over there is the tower for the airport. That's where we're heading over to next. I'm sure the landscape around here has changed a lot since when this windmill stood. So once you've had a quick look at Mill Mound, you'll see a yellow waymarker in the corner of the field. We're going to go through here, then do a hairpin bend and turn back on ourselves. So we're now heading down Hyams Lane after looking at Mill Mound. So we'll be going over the top of Diceworth. I don't know if it's called Diceworth or Diseworth. If you know, let me know. This is obviously a walking video, and I'm trying to show you interesting places we can actually go for a walk that's got interesting places. So I'm not going to go too much into the history, but if it tickles your fancy, you're thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind seeing that, you know, do a bit more research into it. We are now going to have a look at the earthworks. We're not too sure, but I think we walk past the cow and plough in a minute, which hopefully we can stop at on the way when we're finished. After we've visited the Mill Mound, we're now going to head to the earthworks. We'll probably be walking past the cow and plough and the church. I'm not too sure whether to look at the church now or not. I'll see how close we go to get to it, because we'll be walking past it when we get back to the car. At the end of Hyams Lane, you get to Grimes Gate. We turn left here. Luckily, it's another nice early walk. No cars about just yet, and we've got the church just in front of us. So this is Michael of All Angels Church. Looks like it's locked up. But we're going to see if we can find a benchmark. Again, I know I don't do stuff about church graffiti, medieval graffiti, but I wonder what the stories behind that. It's a well-kept graveyard, and hopefully we can get in the church. Just like, I can't remember which one it was, but there's the benchmark above the bench. I think that's me 16th benchmark. And one thing I learned the other day, this is basically like a royal marking, and that top bit is where you take your measurement from. And if you want to see this, it's on the tower. I wonder what that is. One of that, like some sort of mason's marking just there. That's handy. Managed to get the benchmark. Look around the outside of the church. When we get time and come back, have a look inside the church. Wonder who made this. And now we're heading up Hallgate. I don't know why, but I called it the Cow and Plough earlier, but it's the Plough. Nice pub in Diseworth, or Diceworth. Nice bit of sculpture depicting the local wildlife. to be found outside Diceworth Village Hall. There's not a lot to see around here now, apart from cows and cow poo, but there's evidence that there used to be these raised ridges around it that might have marked ancient tribal boundaries. Some believe there were lines reused by Romans as trackways and field diversions. Daisy? You're Daisy, and you're Daphne. Daphne and Daisy. Hello? Once you've visited the Earthworks, you'll see a yellow way marker. Go through the field, turn left. The cows have come to say hello. Hello? I'm not going to hurt you. Oh, this one's the brave one. Well, they're all getting brave now. Is that what's on this side of the fence? Tell you what, you've got your own fair share of flies, haven't you? Oh my God, look at you all. Next we walk by Whatton Grange. Then you'll see a lay-by. There should be a path leading out into the fields just here. This looks like it might cause some issues. Got to get up there. Once you've gone over the stile, you turn left and keep the hedge to your left. And there should be another stile just down here. I think the only real benefit of going along that field is it keeps you off this road. After all, you go in the field just down there, go along the field, you're back here. So you're still got to walk along the road after some time. Then you'll see a public footpath sign to Tong, 1.6 miles. So just down here, we'll be at Tong. Don't know whether it can be seen on this camera, but that's where we're heading to, that church just over there. After being walking along here for no more than a quarter of a mile, you'll see a gate on your left hand side. You go through there and hopefully it's signposted. So we're walking past Woodhouse Farm and I've just seen another yellow way marker. I think we could have gone that way, but we need around here somewhere. We should be coming to Langley Priory soon. If I can see a bridge. Yeah, tucked away at the bottom of the field, there's a bridge. Might be a bit of history here. I wonder if that's an old train line under there. Probably not. But I'm glad I'm wearing my trousers. Might see if I can change my route. I don't fancy coming back this way. Looks like this path hasn't been used in ages. Jules! Ah. Oh. Scratches 10, stings 3. Once you've gone over that bridge full of stinging nettles, You can see another yellow way marker up there. I'm not going to go through the field itself, even though I don't think there's any problem. But he's mowed, the farmers, I say he, the farmers mowed the grass, and we can walk around the edge. There's some newly planted trees around here, so it looks like there's a bit of rewilding going on. I'm not too sure what's actually worse. Walking across a muddy field, walking across a field that's being ploughed or whatever you call this, but going up and down these little ridges and furrows, it's hard work. So we're actually on Crossbitten Way again. We seem to be picking up these long distance paths like the Ivanhoe Way, the Crossbitten Way, the Leicestershire round. There's plenty of them around here to explore. Now there's supposed to be a exit through there, or obviously an entrance will be coming into the field. I'm hoping it's smack bang in front of me. Not actually having much luck looking for the way through. Got all these little gaps, but it looks like it's so overgrown in there you can't really go in there. But according to my map, there's a path through there. I'm going to try this one. Sorry, I'm going to try this one. I think that's beech nut, isn't it? Look at that. There is a path here with a yellow way marker. Well, when I say yellow way marker, someone has shoved a stick in there and painted it yellow. But I think the diversion might be round here. Well, only one way to find out. We now veer off Crossbitten Way to visit Langley Priory, a secluded former nunnery. It dates back to the 12th century, tucked amongst the trees. It once housed noble-born women and stood in a quiet seclusion for centuries. But I don't know whether that's it, or it used to stand over there. But I think it's a private house now. So I think that's it down there. So we're now heading, we're going to be heading that way. One of this stone used to be significant. I wonder what significance this stone is. Probably stood here for hundreds of years. If we get to the path, that's the Crossbitten Way just there. And then we cross over and head down here along a path that the farmers kindly left clear. Then you head through here. Once you've gone through the field where the farmers left a path for you, you go through the stile and there to your left and you'll see another way marker. You just go down through there, so you're basically going in like an arc. And you'll see a pond to your left. So you go through the field and you'll see a nice farmhouse, but you'll see next to it another yellow way marker. Just done 3 miles and we're going past the Windy Ridge. Once you've gone past the Windy Ridge, you'll see another stile. And just over there is the rookery. Well, that's the first time I've ever seen anything to do with the Crossbitten Way, the coast to coast. Don't know whether you can see it, but we're getting closer to Breedon-on-the-Hill and the church, which is right next to the quarry. We next walk by the rookery. It's a historic name for a woodland or hollow full of crows or rooks. Although you're supposed to hear plenty of bird song here, but as you can hear, it's a very, very quiet morning. Like sometimes all you can hear on my videos is birds. After crossing many fields and stiles and going through gates, we come to the village of Tong. Not too sure what they're doing here, might be laying a pipeline or something, but luckily there's a way over just there. Well, once you've gone over the, I don't actually know what they're digging here, but you'll see the exit just there. Doesn't look very desirable. I wonder if we can get around it the other way. In fact, looks like you can. I'm not going to go through there. Just go round and over here. Feels like it started to rain. I'm sure once they've actually laid the pipe, they probably laid the pipe and just filling it all back in. But to tell the truth, I have no idea what they're doing. But I suppose some people say that's progress. I'm glad I wear hiking boots, long socks and hiking trousers, was going through this field with all these thistles and stinging nettles would be rather unpleasant. But there should be an exit out here somewhere, which will take us over the A453 to Tong. If I spent more time looking where I'm going and not where I am, I'd actually see there's some sort of path down there. But I was basically looking at my feet. You get to this gate and you go over the A453. So over the A453 and you'll see another sign and another impenetrable path. Do get sick of these. Considering this is signposted public footpath, that's impossible to get through. So I'm hoping there's a farm gate just down here that I can get through. So we can get through there. And I think we came through there. Then we're back on track again. I know it says private land, but you're literally trespassing that little bit there. Should have gone down there, but that's really hard. You go over this little bridge and we're back on track. I've not shrunk. This grass is really tall and somehow we've got to head over to that yellow way marker. My main concern about walking through long grass is ticks. And unfortunately I've not got anybody with me today to check to see if they've got any ticks on me. That's another reason why I wear long trousers, long socks and boots in all weathers. Once you've gone through the long grass, over this stile, looks like you're coming into somebody's garden. So once you've came through the field of long grass, gone past the farmhouse, you're now on the outskirts of Tong. You come onto Moor Lane and we're going to head into Tong now. Being careful there's no cars coming down here, because it's a very narrow lane. When you get to the Dove Cut, turn right onto Breedon Lane. You'll see an old train bridge. And this is the Cloud Trail. Going to drop down on here. There used to be a train station in Tong, but there's nothing left of it now. Probably if you could find it, it'll be somebody's house, like they usually are. But we're just going over the train bridge at the moment for the Cloud Trail. And just going to have a little look round here. I know we're coming back up this way, but there's no harm in having a look. No. Got the railway cottages. Oh, the Lord Nelson. We're now coming onto the Cloud Trail. This is a purpose-built railway line that now serves as a traffic-free greenway. The Cloud Trail follows the old Derby to Ashby line. It is now part of the National Cycle Network number 6 and offers smooth walking through the woods, fields and gentle cuttings. The route itself often follows old Roman alignments through the Midlands, where straight trackways mirrors ancient roadways. We're coming back up that way later. But we're heading this way. But let me check my map first, because I'm sure I've got that wrong. Well, it's nice to get onto the Cloud Trail. It's easy going. I've been scratched, stung. I've had flies and horse flies buzzing around me. And this is quite a nice route to walk along, although it started raining now. We've done almost 4 miles. So I'm hoping by the time we actually get to the top of Breedon-on-the-Hill and the church, that should be 5 miles, basically the halfway mark. After you've been walking along Cloud Trail for a while, you come across this bit of wood. Probably used to be a sign on there. You turn right here, just up this bit of an embankment. Only being better than some steps. And as you can see, we're getting closer to the church. It's always nice when it sort of sneaks upon you. We've now left the Cloud Trail, gone through a gate and going through a field full of wheat toward Breedon-on-the-Hill and the church on top of the hill. When you come out from the field, you come into Frayne Street and you enter Breedon-on-the-Hill from Frayne Street, and hopefully at the top here there should be a footpath taking us up to the church. I came across one of these before. The village round house or lockup was built about 1793 for the detention of alleged criminals until they could be removed to a town prison and brought before the justice. It was also used for the overnight detention of hotheads. The adjoining building is a pinfold or pound, which was used for the incarnation of stray farm animals. These could be reclaimed by payment to the parish. A nice little herb garden. Like I mentioned earlier, this area was used to lock up strayed animals. We now go past the pub and head up the hill towards of Leicestershire's most iconic summits. We've just covered 5 miles. And it looks like, I think we turn left. Sorry, I think we turn right. Just, don't know whether it's there. It's there. So turn right. Just here and start climbing up the hill. This is one of the 3 major hill forts in Leicestershire, the other 2 being Bleak Hill and Breedon-on-the-Hill. In contrast to many parts of the country, hill forts are not common in this region, although further examples are present at Hollington Camp, Lincolnshire and Castle Yard, Northamptonshire, while lesser hilltops enclosures are also known as Belton Castle and Ratby Borough. The Iron Age settlement at Breedon was first defended by a substantial wooden palisade, probably constructed sometime during the 2nd and 3rd century BC. This surrounded much of the hilltop and was built using large posts, although the posts have long since rotted away. Excavation of deep holes that supported them indicates that they were about a foot in diameter and 2.5 metres high, thus presenting a considerable barrier. This palisade was later replaced by ramparts comprising of large banks and deep ditches. The bank was formed on the upcast soil and stone from the ditch. The bank had an external revetment of timber posts, an internal one of large stone boulders, and was probably topped by a timber palisade for anyone trying to attack the hill fort. The ditch, bank and palisades would have provided an impossible and formidable obstacle. Although quarrying for limestone has removed the eastern side of the site, the remains of the rampart are still clearly visible along the west side of the hill. These include one of the original Iron Age entrances, which would probably have had a large gate flanked by small towers. Other entrances probably included the south gate close to this located panel. Top Breedon-on-the-Hill stands a striking priory church of St Mary and St Hardulph. Once a Saxon monastery, now a church, it holds some of the oldest Christian carvings in England. And whilst there is no trig point here, which is unbelievable considering it's a high point, the OS have put a benchmark on here. So we're going to see if we can go inside and also look for the benchmark. It'd be nice if the church bells went off here, but let's just find the benchmark first. Breedon-on-the-Hill, where a priory once stood, older than most English churches, perched on an ancient hill fort. Inside you'll find some of the oldest Anglo-Saxon stone carvings in the country. Don't miss the carved chair in the chancel. Not a throne, but it certainly feels like one. There are signs everywhere to guide you, but even without them, the church whispers its past. This was once a thriving priory, dissolved by King Henry VIII, but long before that, monks walked these stones, and before them, Saxon kings. Roman ghosts all laid beneath your feet, still watching from those walls. The whole church feels like a time capsule, echoey, worn, and still deeply alive. It's absolutely chucking it down. And all I bought was this hat. So we're over there earlier, probably can't see on here. That looks like the A453 and the airport just up there. Can't really see a lot of the quarry. We're now going to see if we can find Hobbs Hole. Now, according to my map, the bullocks around there and Hobbs Hole. I don't know whether we'll be able to get to it or not. But for a start, I've taken the wrong path because the path that I plotted doesn't really exist. You know what I'm like for my folklore, witchcraft and all that sort of stuff stories, even though I don't actually believe in any of it. But there's a strange story about the entrance to a cave here called Hobbs Hole, a now blocked cavern once believed to be the home to a hobgoblin. Legend says that he used to visit the village to churn butter, but vanished in a rage one day when someone offered him a clean apron. Since then, strange sounds have been heard at dusk, and some walkers say they feel watched near the edge of the field. What was that? Don't know if I can hear a car. Yeah, definitely a car. One older tale says that a Breedon shepherd once saw light flickering from the hole at night. but dared not return. Whether tricks or mist or something older, the place still carries a hush. But even though it's absolutely chucking it down, it feels... What was that? I wish I was dressed better for the weather. Another weather forecast said rain and thunderstorms, but this is heavy. Again, slightly wet. I'm more concerned about with my kit. After walking down Squirrel's Lane just for a matter of minutes, you'll see another yellow way marker. We're going to turn left here, and it looks like it takes us down through some lovely enchanted woods. But hopefully, well, actually, yeah, the tree covering prevents us from getting wet. There's plenty of wildlife along here, but do you know what? It's gorgeous through here. Also, if you're interested, we're back on Crossbitten Way. So again, just up there should be Hobbs Hole and the Bullocks. We're now following the Crossbitten Way through Dale Park and through some lovely woodland area and basically tree covered area. In the middle of nowhere, a spa treatment area. Actually looks better than Chapney's. We now leave Green Lane. We now arrive at Wilson, a tiny Saxon rooted hamlet with lovely stone cottages and a deep sense of quiet, apart from you can hear Donington Racetrack in the distance. So this place once had a railway station too, but that disappeared decades ago. Unfortunately, again, we're way too early to get a pint, so it's just going to be walking through. Although I think in this weather, if you stop for a pint, you'd want to stay in there and probably get a phone call from someone to pick you up. Then once you get to the end of Main Street, you'll see a sign saying Isley, Walton and Castle Donington with Bear right here. And then in about another half a mile, we'll be picking up the Cloud Trail. It would be nice to see a benchmark around here. I can see why this won Best Village of the Year 1995 and 1996. As you leave Wilson and walk past these gorgeous houses, you'll see another public footpath sign. You turn right here, not too sure where. I'm going to assume through here and out through these gates, and this should pick up the Crossbitten Way. I think I missed the footpath or the public right of way that goes across this field, but followed the farm track and it basically brings you out further down, so it makes no difference really. Then we've got 1 mile to Tong. Couldn't find the footpath that took us through the field because I just couldn't find it. You know what my map reading's like. But we followed the farm track, which takes us further down onto the Cloud Trail. And once you get onto the Cloud Trail, you turn right, signposted 1 mile to Tong, and that's where we've got to head to Tong really. This is interesting. One of that used to be a mailbag. I don't know, I'm thinking out loud here. Somewhere we used to hook the old mailbags on when the train came along, collected them. Not too sure. But very interesting. Looks like someone's trying to make this walk a bit more interesting. Got a nice carving along there. There's a few interesting things along here. I saw something that looked like an old mailbag. I don't know if it's not an old mailbag. An old where you hook the old mailbags onto for when the train goes by and takes them. I might be completely wrong, but then you got that carving. That's quite interesting. And I've not even walked a mile yet. I say I've not even walked a mile yet, that's just along here. We've now done 8 miles and we've not got back to Tong yet. Begin to think, do you reckon if I started filming myself like this, that's better? I used to hold the camera down low, but like that. I've only got a small selfie stick. But at least it stopped raining, well it slowed down. Looks like we're coming up to another bit of architectural sculpture. But I wonder if that's the platform. I wonder if that's the platform for the old train station. Looks like it. That could have been the old station house. I'm going to say it is. Not long after walking past the train station, well, there's no longer a train station, but you know what I mean. You come to this lovely bridge. We go under this. Just look at it. It looks like the train might have came down that line, stopped. And I don't know whether it's a double line or a single line, but obviously not going to keep it how it was. But there would have been space here for 2 lines. This is Tong and Breedon Station Bridge. So obviously that was a station. Hopefully if my map reading's right, you come to this bridge This is the second, well, the first bridge after passing the station, and there should be these steps along the side here. Obviously you can go down to the next bridge, but we're going to turn left up here. So we're now leaving the Cloud Trail. Yeah, so that's Tong Footpath Bridge. Once you leave the Cloud Trail, you go up the steps, across the field, you come to what looks like a nice building there. Bit of a doer-upper. There's so many doer-uppers out there. I just spent the past 10 minutes looking at my map, working out a different way to go back, because I'm not too sure I want to go back across that bridge with all the thistles, thorns and stinging nettles. Oh, it looks like the farmers bolted this gate. Could have climbed over this. Once he climbed over that gate, which is actually really, really hard because it's very high, probably be easy to crawl underneath it, but don't get all muddy. You turn left and I think you've got to turn right here somewhere. Yeah, so we're back on the track that we came. So you go through these people's car park. You can see the yellow way marker just over there, and back through where you got all the long grass. With all this, I'm going to get absolutely soaked. Please keep to the public footpath, and dogs must be kept on leads. I'm holding this camera almost in front of my face. That shows you how tall this grass is. Could do with it being mowed. I'm getting absolutely soaked. Unfortunately, I couldn't find another way round, so it's this way. Gotta be careful I don't get mouthfuls of grass. This path is the Crossbritton Way. This is just one challenge I've had, doing a short little 10-mile walk. I'd hate to think if somebody's going to walk across Britain and they come across many of these, it's going to take them ages. Well, actually, I'm sure it's going to take ages to do the Crossbritton Way, but my trousers are absolutely soaked. And I think I've took the wrong path. Got to check my map. Amazingly, no, I'm still on track, which is a miracle considering I can't see anything. And here we are. It's just come through here. Now on the A453, we should have came out where that sign is there and crossed over the field there, crossed over the A453 there and head up there. But I tried to get in that way and it was hard, so I'm not going to go back that way. It was hard enough going the easy way. We're just coming up to where that construction site is. We're just clocked 9 miles. Well, that's handy. I didn't see that last time. Instead of climbing up the embankment and flying down the other side, there's a gap just here. That'll make it a hell of a lot easier. This route is basically a sort of a loop route, but it's a there and back. So we're now following the same path that we took on the way out there. So if there's anything interesting, I will film it, but other than that, it's a straight walk back. So I think this is where you pick up the Crossbritton Way and keep to it instead of going back. But I think this is the Crossbritton Way. Yep. So I think we've been on the Crossbritton Way for some time. We'll go over here, you can see the, well, obviously you can't with this camera. If you're going to get a GoPro 13, I bought it because that time when I lost my phone and I wanted to get something. I know I don't want to lose my GoPro, but having a camera's not as important as losing your phone. And I do try to zoom in, but it's all the settings, everything like that. If anybody knows or got any good tips on how to set up your GoPro, I'd like to hear. So now leaving the route that we originally came up, so we came up from there and went through there, but I don't want to go through all that lot again, so we're going this way. This is actually part of my original plan, but I thought if that's interesting down there, I'd like to take a second trip, but obviously it wasn't. Another nice bit of farm rewilding. You got sunflowers here. I don't know what half these are, but it sure is attracting all the insects. Probably not picking it up, but there's sunflowers. I've tried this at the top of my garden and I never get anything. Then this year when I didn't bother doing anything, I got tons of stuff. But we're heading over to there and I think it's somewhere through there. So it just looks like an old green lane that we're going down. And hopefully we won't be far from Diseworth. After walking past Woodhouse Farm along this dirt track or green lane, you'll come to, I don't know what the road is, can't even find out what the road is, but you turn left and that will take you to Diseworth. So I think we've got less than a mile to go now. So you turn left onto here. If we're lucky and we find a little track that takes us through the fields, I'll take it, because I don't like walking on roads like this. But Diseworth is just over there, so we'll be back in about 15 minutes. And then just like that, we're back in Diseworth. I think we've still got about another quarter of a mile to go. But it's one of those walks, had some nice points, some I didn't really like points, like going through the fields where you got more stinging nettles. But at least we're back. And I wonder if I've got a ticket on my car, because it says no airport parking. We've just got into Diseworth on 11 miles. We've just got to turn left down Bowley Lane now. Sorry, no. Just got to turn left down the Bowley. And hopefully we should be coming up to the car very shortly. So we came into Diseworth a different way. When we saw the Earthworks, we turned down there. But we're obviously going back this way, which is the way that we came. And hopefully the Plough pub should just be in sight. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. As you can see, it's absolutely chucking it down. The plate's there, the spider's there, as you can see, and I'm going to get going now because I'm getting absolutely soaked. So this is my, I think it's my 32nd or my 33rd trig point. I've got to film this in my car because it's absolutely hammering it down. My camera's sort of playing up, and honestly I'm completely and utterly drenched. But hopefully if you enjoyed this trig walk, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.